Both, I just interviewed Sal and his wife.
On the wrap-up show.
Well, it's not the same as if you did it, but, you know, what was I supposed to do?
Both, I aired a new bit on the wrap-up show.
Hey, Gary, come in and say something wrong so I can play the new bit.
I can't think of anything to say wrong.
All right. Well, he will.
But the day is young.
Right. Something wrong will happen. Okay. Oh, like Gary walked in a few minutes ago. Did I give you that copy of Michael Moore's new movie? Because Michael Moore is coming in today. Did I give you that copy of Michael Moore's new movie?
Did he?
I go, I never got a copy of the movie. Oh. And I go, oh, where is it? He goes, I'm not saying one came in. And you know he's just covering his ass.
No. He told us, I don't think we got it. She said she was going to send it. If we got it, I'd give it to you.
Nah. There's some
Were
screw
you
up.
asking him if he saw it?
Why do you think there's some screw up?
I just know there is.
But why do you think that?
I can tell.
From what?
I can tell when you screw up. And then you do the cover up.
No, I'm not covering up. In fact, I just went and looked at items. She said she was going to send one. We never got it. I looked at items and it didn't come in.
See? Isn't that perfect?
So it already happened.
It's here. Guarantee the movie's here. I just never got to see
But
it.
what did he ask you? Did you get it?
He goes, did you watch Michael Moore's movie, Sicko?
Again, you make shit up as you go along.
So I said,
shush, quiet. I said to Robin, I said to him, did I ever give you a copy of it? Because the publicist wanted to know if he saw it. And Robin, we get so many movies in.
I see, okay.
I just couldn't remember if it came in or not.
All right.
I think Gary was wrong before for not coming in here and at least trying to say something wrong.
Right. Well, that's why I had to get this going.
Yeah, you had to pull out what you knew.
Yeah, publicist called. Did you watch that movie yet? I go, no, it's not anything. And I hear him go, I see the wheel. I see smoke coming out of him. He goes, no, I'm not saying it came in. I'm just saying, I like it. It works.
You think Johnny Carson had something similar like Decord of
Ed McMahon. Ed McMahon. I'm trying to think of other Baba Booey. Fred, what's a good Baba Booey when he did something wrong? I can play this. Do you know any?
Oh, well, the biggest one lately, Robin just referenced, playing the bit on the wrap-up show.
Right, the Sal bit that he thought you were never going to get to.
Oh, yeah. Balls, we played the bit, the phone call Sal made. Well, I told you, it was an example of a bit you didn't play, but I was going to play that. Well, you haven't played it in 3 days, so I figured it's okay to play on the wrap-up show.
Wasn't there a color or something like that he didn't have on one of the sound effects pages? It wasn't like a blue.
Yeah.
He said it was orange, and you said it was brown or something. I forget what.
There's a lot of mini arguments.
Right, like the tan versus brown.
But I don't know if that merits.
Yeah, it doesn't. Tan versus brown doesn't merit.
That's what we have to determine.
But like, this one, when he comes in and clears his throat in the morning.
You know it'll be great too, because there'll be a hot chick in here to make it even worse. Is if he refuses to ever put on the welder's mask.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's an offense. Because that offends my audience. Yeah. That's good.
Can't wait for Gary to mess up.
Yeah.
So we get to play it.
M-S-C-H-I-N-E, McCann. There you go. Okay, thanks. That's a nice one. I think Richard made that, or I'm assuming Richard made that.
Did he? Did he?
Yeah.
That's great.
You know, Michael Moore used to have a TV show. I forget what it was. The public didn't watch it, but it was so funny. It was every week he'd do like these little documentaries. And
Yes, I remember.
do you remember the one he did where he was showing how black people can't get picked up by taxi cabs? So
Yes.
he put circus clowns out on the street to get cabs, and circus clowns got cabs before
Faster.
black people.
It was so great because he put circus clowns, and then like 40 feet down the line, he put Or he put the black people first and the circus clowns second. And the cabs went past the black people, picked up the clowns.
Don't you think black people should dress up as clowns and then they would get car
To
rides?
me, that's a great piece of information for black people to have. You want to get a cab? Listen.
I think that's why you see a lot of black clowns now.
Dress up like a clown.
Here he is, Michael Moore. He has a new movie opening up, Sicko, June 29th in theaters everywhere.
Believe it or not, he's not here yet. He's on his way up.
Oh, I thought
he was
We were
here.
just prepping him. He's on his way up.
Oh, I actually rushed through Jimmy Fallon because I didn't want Michael to have to sit there and wait.
He's running late. We did not put a note that he's here.
Oh, because somebody said to me that he was on his way up in the elevator when Jimmy was coming up.
Yeah, they thought that. Ronnie thought that. It turned out it wasn't the case.
Yeah, you see? And then I rushed.
Does this?
But that's okay. I got plenty to do.
Does this warrant? I hate to say that.
Yeah, oh, it does.
Does it? I don't.
Oh, absolutely. Let me...
Hey, what's up, Mr. Moore?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
New movie,
Oh, that's what I heard, yeah.
Sicko.
Sicko.
All right. So you're looking forward to talking to Howard about it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm just looking forward to talking to Howard
You and him have always, right this way,
over here.
always been sort of like-minded. You seem to get along, and
Oh, yeah.
why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's because the established order is set up not to be very happy with us, and yet they don't know what to do with us because we end up making them money. so they tolerate us, I guess. But if we like the day we stop making them any money, trust me, Howard and I will be right out on the curb with the rest of the trash from this building.
So they may differ on opinion, but at the end of the day, you're making them a buck, so.
Oh yeah, at the end of the day, they really don't have any opinions. They only care about the money they're making. So
The bottom line.
the bottom line. So,
All right, great.
anyways,
All right, well, we'll see you inside, and
hey,
have fun with Howard today.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Great.
Yeah, Kenny.
Well, I was hoping to say a word to Michael Moore, but in his absence, let me just say that I've been a fan of his since Roger and Me. He's the single, in my view, greatest living patriot. He speaks truth to power. Fuck these whores that are running this country right now because they're dragging us down, and it's people like Michael Moore who are keeping us afloat.
Yeah, I am very proud to know Michael Moore, and I'm proud of his films and certainly interested in anything he has to say. You know, the conservative guy, Sean Hannity, did a rant on Michael Moore the other day because Michael Moore wants to improve the health care system in this country, which is, by the way, my number one bugaboo. My father, too. Yeah. Yeah, Medicaid and Medicare is the biggest rip-off programs around. No one in the government cares. Nobody gives a shit that no one can get health care. So Michael Moore did something very, I think, the premise of the movie Sicko seems very bright. I haven't seen the movie yet, but these guys who were workers at 9/11 at the scene, you know how sick they are from the air and everything. They can't get health care. They can't afford health care in this country. He took them all down to Cuba where they have health care, universal health care kind of thing for their people.
You know, the prisoners in Guantanamo are getting better care. That's his point.
Yeah, he took them down there, and they all got the proper health care.
Howard,
Yeah.
the fact is there's no more powerful a lobby than health and insurance, and the government is in their back pocket. It's only people like Michael Moore who can cut through that crap and expose these whores for what they are.
It is a fabulous thing. There is nobody in our government trying to really and truthfully reform health care.
No.
Because
Health care is a nightmare
And when
in this
they
country.
try,
you
they
know
get
what
their
they're
asses
worried
handed
about?
to
The
them.
merger between XM and Sirius.
Right.
That's what they're sitting and
Yeah,
worried
got
about.
their eye on that. for
This
sure.
merger is the... Hey, Michael, we really don't need you. We can talk about it.
You just sit there.
You can leave.
Anyway, thanks a lot. Have a good day.
Okay, this merger... How you doing?
Good. How are you?
This merger between XM and Sirius, they are spending so much time on it. The merger between AT&T and Exxon and Mobil, they didn't spend this much time on. And this is what I'm talking about. Healthcare? Who gives a shit? Nobody cares. So you bring these people down there to Cuba,
Right.
and they get healthcare.
Right.
Now, I understand in your new movie, they have a guy, he's got no health care in this country. Mm-hmm. He's a factory worker or something, gets 2 fingers cut off. He's got to sit there and say, the doctors give him a choice.
Right.
If I have this wrong, tell me.
That is
I'm wrong.
correct. Right.
The doctors give him a choice in the movie. They say to him, look, for 12 grand, we can put back your ring finger. And for 60 grand, we can put back your middle finger.
Right.
So which one are you going to choose?
Oh, my goodness.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Now, why are you a bad guy to Sean Hannity for trying to improve that?
We should not admit that these things go on.
Well, and then in the film, I go to Canada, and I run into a guy who actually sawed off all 5 of his fingers, and he had all his fingers put right back on, free of charge. The operation took 24 hours. I mean, they had like 4 surgeons and all this, and the poor guy out in Oregon that you mentioned, he had to pick between which finger because he couldn't afford both.
Which finger did he choose?
He chose the cheaper finger, the ring finger.
Why is the ring finger cheaper to attach than the middle finger?
That's a good question. I don't know.
It's expensive to say "fuck you" to people.
It's I don't know.
That the smaller the finger, the harder it is to do.
Yeah, but it's only smaller by. If this is 12,000 and this is 60,000, you're telling me this is 48,000?
Doesn't that point up?
That one doesn't do as much.
Doesn't that point up how silly sometimes the healthcare system can get? That one finger is $12,000 and the other one. How do they determine that price?
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I mean,
are you telling me that this guy shows up to the hospital and both fingers are with him? He had the foresight to bring both fingers with him.
The tops of both fingers are sawed off, so he has them both with him on ice.
And someone was willing to say to them, listen, we're not going to sew both back on. You're going to have to choose. Right.
I think there was something in the middle finger that required some kind of microsurgery that they would have to bring somebody in from another town right away. It was going to cost, so they had to get a helicopter or something. I don't know what it was, but the cost of it was going to be a lot more.
I see. So the other one could have been done locally.
Yeah, and I think the ring finger still had a little bit of cartilage or something still hanging there where it was easier to attach or whatever.
This is heartbreaking to you, I imagine, and anyone else, because you look at that and you go, for the rest of his life, he's missing his finger.
Simply because he didn't have health insurance.
Now you could make the argument, hey, go get a job and get health insurance. That's what I'm sure the Sean Hannitys are going to say. But there are people who suffer who don't have the wherewithal to get health insurance.
He has a job. In fact, there's about 47 million people that don't have health insurance in this country. The vast majority of them are working people because if you're poor, as you mentioned, there's Medicaid.
Right.
So we're not talking about the really poor here. We're talking about working stiffs who are living from paycheck to paycheck, and if you have to buy health insurance, you could pay $1,000 a month. You could pay $2,000 a month if you have a family.
Now, Sean Hannity, I'm only using him because I have tape him, but you got a lot of critics. But Sean Hannity, I thought the Republicans are supposed to be for the people and the working guy and stuff.
The compassionate
conservative. And why would he be against a film like that? Okay, he disagrees with you about 9/11. He disagrees about the Iraq War. He disagrees about... But this he disagrees with you about?
I know. It really kind of... It shows the pathological nature of this hatred, especially toward me, I guess, because I've made a nonpartisan film, and I say, right up front, this is not a Democrat or Republican issue.
No, of course not.
If you get sick, the sickness doesn't care what your political stripe is.
That's right.
And I've said, can't we have our political differences, but find some common ground on this issue? Can't we all say we're all Americans, and everybody, if you get sick, you have a right to see a doctor?
You talk about the level of hatred directed toward you. Now, whenever I open up the New York Post and they do a cartoon of you, you're grotesque.
Yeah.
Your arms are little tiny arms.
Yeah.
You're the size of a balloon. They love to ridicule you.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Do you get a lot of death threats? Are you in fear for losing your life?
No. Yes and no. Yes, I get a lot of threats.
How do you handle that? Do you travel with an entourage, a bodyguard?
No. I've noticed since I've been on the tour this week, the studio has had these security guys around. So I said, "Do you know something I don't know?"
Right. Because people get angry. I think they get riled up from the Post and Fox News.
Well, it's the level of the argument.
Not just
level of the argument, because it's a personal attack. They don't attack what you're saying.
It's not just.
Why do you think you're so hated?
I don't know. I've thought about this. It's like, what have I done in these films? I've talked about, geez, I wish there were less school shootings.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, these are not controversial topics per
I
se.
wish people in Detroit weren't losing their jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can somebody in the media please ask Mr. Bush to make sure there are those weapons of mass destruction before we?
I mean, 60 Minutes is not. 60 Minutes is hailed, and the reporters are revered. And yet, for some reason, you bring out just people are disgusted with you.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. I see you as a patriotic man.
I think what's bothered them is that with each film, I triple or quadruple the number of people that go to see it, and the fan base has grown quite large.
Is this a lot of pressure for you?
And no, not really. I'm happy that more people are able to see my stuff.
Your last film, which was, of course, genius, Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yeah.
Was brilliant, but it made $125 million, I'm going to say.
Right, that's correct. Yeah.
Do you feel like I think the film cost about how much did it cost to make Fahrenheit?
I think it was about $5 million.
$5 million.
Yeah.
It made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Do you feel that sense of pressure as a filmmaker now that you've got to come through? I know the Weinsteins paid how much money for this? $25 million for this film?
And this one cost $9 million.
$9 million to make, but they paid you $25 million to own it. And now when it's released, are you like, oh my God, Sicko's got to now make $150 million? I mean, that's a pretty hard task for a documentary.
Yeah, it's not going to do that. I can't imagine it doing. It was a big election year and everything. I can't imagine that this would be anywhere near that. No, I don't feel any. I just set out to make these movies. I do my best. I hope people go see them. You were talking earlier. I mean, I love this country. That's why I do this.
I'm looking to leave.
I think.
Where else could you do this anyway?
Right. You couldn't do this in Cuba, and you recognize that. But you're saying,
I've said that. I mean, if I were living in Cuban, or if I was a Cuban, I'd be Castro's worst nightmare.
Right.
So
he'd have you put to sleep. I mean, that would be it. But that's not what you're saying. You're saying I live in a country where a guy has to make a choice between which finger to put back on. Maybe I can improve that system.
Right. Exactly.
Why is that threatening?
I don't, Howard. I wish I could. It's not like there's pictures of me standing behind the North Vietnamese anti-artillery gun.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're not doing that.
I'm not.
And why haven't we
Hanoi Mike?
But why haven't we learned our lesson from that? Why haven't we learned that in Vietnam, where all the old codgers were sending the young people off to die, why is it we can't respect the person who is a renegade? Why can't we respect the person who says, I want to make things better?
Well, Howard, you're a perfect example of this. I mean, clearly they've gone after you forever.
That I don't understand either, but I hate it as well.
Right.
I felt that hatred, but I know with you it's 10 times even more.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's crazy, but it's as if you hadn't achieved the popularity that you had, they probably would just sort of set out to hell with them, and we're not going to pay any attention to them. But what happens is, as more and more people become fans of yours, that makes them more crazy. And so, Bowling for Columbine, it grossed $21 million, as you said, Fahrenheit 9/11, 120. So they see something like that happen, and they go, oh my God, we must stop the children of America from listening to this man.
Maybe it comes with success. You talk about success with you, and your films have done well. And it's funny, once in a while I'll see you in a news clip or something, and you're like stepping out of a limousine or something, and I'm wondering, I go, people even hate Michael for that.
Well, yeah, then he's reviled for actually having made money.
Like if you put a suit on and if you step out of a limousine, then you're a fat cat, so to speak.
Right.
But
isn't that the very thing that they want us all to become? That they support making money and doing that, and then you succeed, and they go, how dare he make money?
He made money.
And then suddenly they sound like the communists.
Right. Are you a victim of your own success? That you have to wear the baseball cap and the T-shirt. You can't dress up. You can't be in a limo. That you can't even I don't even know.
No, I don't give a fuck because listen. If you come from the working class, if you come from a factory town like Flint, Michigan, the fact that someday you'll be able to ride the limo, that's kind of a cool thing. Yeah. You don't go, oh, I'll never ride in that limo.
But they'll criticize you for that, won't they? Won't they go, look at him riding in a limo, and he's supposed to be a man of the people.
Well, I've read things in the Post that says he demands limos. That's what you read later. That now he won't walk anywhere.
Howard,
yeah.
I read something once, and I just thought it was really weird because it seems like they're out to get him. The Post said that he went to like a book signing, and pretended to walk away, and then got in his limo like 3 blocks away because he wanted everybody to see him getting in.
That kind of stuff.
Well, the fact that I would walk 3 blocks right there, you can see that's a lie.
What's good? Now, someone told me that you're going to fat camp.
No, actually, I was halfway through making this movie, and I started thinking. One of the ways to avoid this shitty system is to take care of yourself,
right?
Because a lot of people's illnesses are a result of
obesity,
not moving,
lifestyle
stuff, environmental stuff, and you can change a lot of that,
right?
And so I just started eating differently, and not a big deal. I mean, guys like me could never figure out how to go on a diet, and I never will.
It's impossible.
And you're not.
Were you always heavy? Were you heavy as a kid?
Oh yeah. You'll never see me in a spinning class or.
You will never go for a jog.
No.
What?
Oh no. But I have found that just by walking more and just by going for a walk every day, I've dropped 30 pounds in the last 3 months.
No kidding.
And,
I was going to say he looked slimmer to me when he walked.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So
you're walking. Have you changed your diet around?
Yeah. What I do is I eat a few more fruits and vegetables, just like Mom said to do, and.
Artie is struggling right now as well, and he even turned to me and said, "I got to do something." So maybe this is it.
Dr. Ronnie wants to get a hold of Artie.
And Michael Moore. I bet Dr. Ronnie would love to talk to Michael.
The thing. How's that going, by the way? I was
very well.
listening last week. You're doing okay.
Yeah.
And
She's how much weight have you lost now?
20 pounds.
20 pounds in 3 weeks.
Wow.
I happen
It
to have a
hasn't
copy.
been 3 weeks yet.
Oh, look at you with your copy.
I happen to have a copy. I'll do Dr. Ronnie a favor. 21 pounds in 21 days.
Yeah, Artie just hit 300, so he's getting nervous.
Here's the key thing. This is the trick I found is that if you should eat foods that are heavy in weight.
Light in calories.
Yes, because then you feel full. People that get the gastric bypass and all that,
you won't do that.
No. You can do that naturally just by giving your stomach a full feeling. So eat oatmeal in the morning because that's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Microwave potatoes work for me.
Potatoes. That has become my new, because you can't. A potato's just 100 calories.
Right.
How many baked potatoes can you eat?
That's right.
You could barely get through the second one.
That's right.
But you'd only have 200 calories.
Right.
Whereas if I reached into a handful of Planters peanuts, there's 200 calories right there. That's not going to fill you up.
Right.
A handful of peanuts. 2 baked potatoes.
What are you, a junk food guy? You like?
No, I probably. I don't know. That's a. My friends say, "Geez, I don't ever really see you eat that much." I just think I got predisposed as a kid. I'm just
You're not a chazer. You don't sit there and consume.
No, I don't sit there with a bag of Doritos and just eat away.
Right.
But it's the lack of movement too. That's the other thing. You got to get up, move around.
What about the sex life? Artie complains now he has to have sex on his back. He lays on his back.
Is that true, Artie? I didn't know.
No, I didn't say that.
Told me that's your favorite position.
Bad.
Since you got heavy.
What guy doesn't have that as a favorite position? I told you I happen to be a weird guy in the sense that I like being on top of a woman and fucking, putting her ankle in her ear and showing her she was someplace where she shouldn't have been that night in my house.
Do you
missionary.
find that your sexual life is impeded in some way because of the weight?
No, I have been. I don't really want to go there, but I've been very fortunate to be with the same woman for like
long
20,
time.
25, 26 years. Yeah,
firm erections, guys. Is that it? All right, good. All right.
A lot of that is also your mental state and how you're feeling about life in general, and so.
So getting back to movies and you and your life and all that stuff. So you make these films. You hope for the best. And I feel for you because you make films that are serious, that change the world, and then all of a sudden you got to sit and worry about the box office gross. You know what I mean? In a way. And you got guys who are helping you, actually, by complaining that you went to Cuba. The government is now looking into you. This is who they're investigating.
Yeah.
Michael Moore. They're not investigating.
Well, nobody was responsible for 9/11. Nobody was responsible for any of the other tragedies that happened, Katrina. But we've got to find out how did Michael Moore get to Cuba?
Yeah. Now, I personally don't care how you got to Cuba, but doesn't this help the movie in a way, in the sense?
Well, you would think that they would be crazy to come after me like they have before the movie opens because it only tells people about the movie, but. But then I don't know how to explain it because you'd think if they were smart, but then that stops you right there because if they were smart,
right?
I mean, these people can't run anything. I mean, they don't. I mean, we're in the 5th year of this war, and you know, our parents. You're. I don't know if your dad was in World War II. My dad was in World War II. They defeated the Nazis, the Japanese, and the Italians in less time than it's taken us to secure the road from the airport to downtown Baghdad.
Why is
we
that?
still haven't secured the road yet?
Why is that?
Why is that?
Because you have people that are idiots that don't know how to run anything in charge.
Right.
I mean, we went to war with a commander-in-chief that knew nothing about war. If you were on a football team, would you have a quarterback that you go, hey, let's get a quarterback from the forensics team? You know,
you want someone who was in the game once.
Yeah, at least once.
This is amazing. It's an amazing time we live in. Do you think this is the worst time in the history of the world?
I think it's pretty bad.
Are we going down? I mean, is it good? I mean, it seems like the world is more evil. There's more danger in the world.
You know what sucks is that the world now, their attitude toward us is not good, and yet
they hate us.
Yeah, except we're good people, and they like us as individuals. If you meet people from other countries, they like us as
they hate our government.
But yeah, they don't understand. How are you letting this continue?
The war in Iraq was the biggest mistake that's ever been committed in our world, because we had the world on our side after we invaded Afghanistan.
I think it's worse than a mistake. I think they knew exactly that they were perpetrating a lie on the American people. And Howard,
I agree with you.
What is the worst crime against humanity than lying to a country to take them to war? I mean, it'd be right up there with genocide, slavery. I mean,
well, these guys they didn't know about war, but they knew about oil, and they're oil people.
They thought they'd get the oil.
Well, this is a stupid way to go get oil, don't you think? Now that everybody's fighting on the way to it.
All I can tell you is that as bad as the war is, the healthcare system is even more messed up.
Well, the sad thing is that people who have fought and died for this country, people who build this country, can't get taken care of.
Right.
But wait a second. When you go, but let me just get this slow down. When you go to Cuba.
Yeah. Now, let me just get this straight. Yeah. I didn't go to Cuba. I went to Gitmo. Right. That's the thing that Hannity and all these guys have got fucked up. That I went to Gitmo because I was watching the Senator Frist. He was flipping through one day. He's on C-SPAN talking about, hey, we treat the detainees down there really good. You know, the Al Qaeda guys. Right. They get full, free, universal health care. And he pulls out a list and he goes, here's how many teeth cleanings we've done. Here's how many root canals we've done for the Al Qaeda detainees. Here's how many colonoscopies. And he's got the whole list of stuff, and I'm going, wow. So the guys who helped to plot 9/11 got free universal health care and teeth cleanings.
And the guys who went
down to save lives on that day, who are now suffering from breathing all that stuff, can't get any health care. How fucked up is that?
Yeah,
It's way fucked up.
It's so
and
fucked
how
up.
can you be against looking at that?
Right, so I said, I'm going to load them on a boat, and we're going to sail down right into Gitmo, right into Guantanamo Bay, and demand that the rescuers of 9/11 get the same help that the 9/11 perpetrators are getting.
So when the guys criticize you, Senator Thompson, or whatever his name was, he criticized you. The guy running for president now. The actor.
Yeah.
How in God's name do they rationalize attacking you? I mean, why are they attacking you for showing this? And you pointed out this guy Thompson smokes Cuban cigars, right?
Right. Yes.
Now, he's not supposed to have those.
How does he get those? Now, are you in danger of going to jail?
For what?
Yeah, that's what the Bush administration has informed. They've sent me the certified letter to tell me that I'm under investigation, facing criminal and civil penalties, because the law says American citizens can't travel to Cuba and you can't do trade in Cuba. And so, but a journalist can go to Cuba, and that's what a documentary is. Mm-hmm. But what they're claiming is that I took down film that had no worth because it was blank.
Right.
Filmed scenes down there. And as a result, now it has worth because my films make $100 million. So therefore, it's like bringing back 10,000 Cuban cigars. If I go down there and shoot film, bring it back here.
So they got you on some sort of weird thing.
Well, not only that if you brought back 10,000 Cuban cigars, they'd confiscate them. And the fear with our lawyers is that they may try to confiscate the film before it opens, claiming that it was a violation of the Trade Embargo Act.
They've probably learned their lesson not to do that because
I hope so. Well, I made a negative copy of the film and got it out of the country and sent it to some friends in Canada who are holding it for me. Just in case.
I was going to open this up to phone calls in a second, but our director is a Fox News devotee, Scott DePace.
Oh, is he out there chomping at the bit?
He's out there screaming and calling Michael names. I want to hear what he has to say. You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I cannot imagine his objection to this film.
He always objects. It doesn't matter what Michael does.
Michael Moore's Sicko opens June 29th in theaters everywhere, and all of Michael's films, as you know, have been incredible. So,
well, I think the reason politicians might go against Michael, and these are why politicians sometimes have an empty head, he's become a buzzword. You know what I mean? You say you're anti-Michael Moore,
but think about what he's done.
Right, they don't care about that.
Howard,
just say you're anti-Michael Moore.
If you go back and look at all these films,
I
think the majority of the American public now agrees with these films.
Yeah, they do. Right, 70% of the country's against the war.
You're a little bit ahead of your time. That's the problem. But here he is. All right, Scott, go ahead. This is our director's
listen, I don't really have much to say to you. I
hope
know
not.
I'm watching this. I'm listening to this whole interview, and a lot of things you say drive me crazy.
Like what? Name two.
Well, the example of the guy with the two fingers or whatever.
Right.
So, what is your answer to that? What should it be? The guy just gets that for free?
That's right.
For total free. So why don't you buck up the money then?
You take all the money for the war in Iraq. I guarantee everyone could have their fingers sewn on for free.
The war in Iraq, and that's another one. We're going for oil. What a crazy, stupid statement
it's absolutely
that is.
true. You know, Cheney and Bush are in the oil industry. They know they're friends with Saudi Arabia. This was a play for oil in the Middle East.
How exactly were we going to do that?
We
Just
would
pull
have
up
friendly
a tanker?
No, that's not how it works. You have business. Listen, what do you think Halliburton and all these guys Cheney knows? These guys all are in bed together. Saudi Arabia is our
so wait a minute.
Our pal,
Let me get this
Bush's
straight.
pal. You saw that in Michael's last movie.
Are you really saying that the president is sitting back there and go, you know what? We will kill probably a lot of people, but I don't care. I'm going to get rich off of that.
I don't think he thought for a minute that this would be a difficult war.
Right.
I think he thought we'd be in and out. Saddam Hussein. Remember, he thought the people were going to be cheering when we went in there.
And
they
that
did
would,
no research.
And you would think that would
they
be
knew
true.
Nothing of what was going on. It wasn't a simple play.
You would think that would be true only if you didn't study the region.
Oh, please! You guys are all looking at it with a crystal ball.
There were plenty of reports.
But you don't need to be. Would you admit we don't need to be in Iraq? I mean, do you admit that was a waste of time?
Now, looking back, sure, maybe we shouldn't.
At least you do that.
But Scott, you know there were plenty of reports that said the place would dissolve into sectarian violence.
And there were plenty of reports that said Saddam had these weapons.
What is your problem with Sicko the movie?
And Hussein told us himself that it would be a bitter pill.
I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You asked me about the guy with the fingers. What should we just do? Let him have those fingers back for free. Let's take same man. Okay, let's take him. Same man. All of a sudden, his house is on fire. All right? Should we just let the fire department go there and put out that house fire for free?
No, because we've set up a system that says...
He doesn't have to pay to have the his house the fire put out, right?
Why do people whose homes go on fire get free care
because
from the
we've
fire
all
department?
decided that we've have things as
we've socialized the fire department.
Because it's impossible for one man to fight a home.
Don't you think firefighters would get a lot more money if when they showed up at the house, they turned to you and say, listen, putting out this fire is going to cost you $1 million?
Before we save your kid who's on fire upstairs.
Let me ask you this one.
Which kid it means more? It's going to be $30,000 to save the one.
So let me ask you. So if we all got together on that, is there a way that maybe we could all get together to make health care a little more affordable for people?
Possibly, but people like you are going to have to pay a lot more tax.
Why are you dead set against that thought?
I'm not.
And why would I have to pay more tax? Maybe if my taxes weren't thrown out the fucking window.
We got a whole war going.
Let me ask this. What if...
Yeah.
Well, you would have to pay more
tax. What if a guy needs a new heart and it's $1 million? Should that be free?
It shouldn't be $1 million operation. I told you.
All right, let's just say it's $200,000.
Well, let's say...
What level is too much for you? Yes, I have 2 kids. Yeah.
And let's say it was your son.
Yeah.
And he needed a heart.
Listen.
And it cost $1 million. Do you think that he should have that heart?
No. Not for free.
Your own son?
Listen here. It's very easy.
Whoa.
Michael,
these guys are hardcore.
It's very easy.
He's Sean Hannity.
Michael, listen.
He wants to blow Sean Hannity.
It's very easy to think this grand utopia that you live in and everything is going to be just easy. It's not that simple. It happens to be capitalism. That's what it is. Howard has a better car,
he's talking
a better
about
house.
He's about improving the system for everyone.
And that's fine. Well, let's look at the court system and the tort reform.
Let me go back to our fingers guy, though.
Let's go back to the fingers guy.
Let's say you're a conservative businessman, all right?
Yeah.
Which he's not, by the way. He's so close to being unemployed. But go ahead, yes.
He'll need that money for his son's operation then.
Yeah.
Well, and you damn well sure I'm going to work hard and find a way to do that. But
and if you can't, I want your son to have that operation.
Trust me, I will.
You know, Howard.
But if you can't, I
Good, then I'm going to call you.
I want to help pay for that.
I will call you, and you can do
I'll
that.
I'll pay an extra $1 or $2 a week to make sure your son and every other kid.
Scott, why don't you just pretend you have that problem and make $1 million right now?
A dollar or two for you is nothing.
Insane.
No, I'm not insane.
Maybe there's hope. If there's universal health care, you'll get your hair back.
You know what happens is if
you get your nose
don't
fixed.
you want your hair back?
How about your nose fixed?
My nose is fine.
His nose
I have no hair.
fixed
I
if you're
got
a
a nose.
No, yeah, but no one's offended by his nose, but your hair.
What about your fatness? What about your fatness?
But you see,
it's leaving
we
me.
have to go down this road. Gary, what do you want to say?
But Scott, though, seriously, if you're saying if your son needed $1 million operation, you would work hard to make that. Why don't you do that now in life, just in case it happens? If you don't wait,
I work harder than you. What are you talking about?
All right, let's.
He imagines that they're going to
That's
wait
not
forever
true.
for this
Thank you,
$1 million.
Scott.
First of all, he doesn't work harder.
I'm not
Howard.
Thank you, Scott. Yes.
Go to Gary page 2. Gary preview page 2.
Why?
Because Michael is already costing us listeners. It's just so great. It's a third column over light blue, a voicemail that somebody left us. He elicits such hatred.
We don't care.
I have been a Howard Stern fan since he began at NBC. And I've continued through the years, and I, of course, bought the satellite radio, Cyrus. I'm considering canceling my membership due to the guest he has this morning.
Jimmy Fallon?
Who is a traitor to the United States. The thought that Howard would support and applaud
I applaud
a traitor.
That's right.
It's too much to take.
We need more traitors like him.
Honestly, and that woman has never seen any of my films.
I guarantee it. First of all, she has Sirius, and she calls it Cyrus. I mean, I never heard of that.
But again, these blanket statements. How are you a traitor? What have you done? But
how is he a traitor, Scott?
Well, I'll tell you, in Fahrenheit 9/11, the part that really pissed me off was the scenes of the little children playing in the park or whatever, and then the very next shot is a bomb going off
in Iraq. I showed what life under Saddam was like. Although he was a brutal dictator.
Yeah, tell that to the 300,000 he murdered. What about them?
Go and ask people in Baghdad right now if they'd like to have the old man back. Or would they rather
ask the Kurds if they'd like to have him back?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Well, let me tell you
the
something.
Kurds that were gassed with the gas that we gave Saddam. I mean, remember we gave him those weapons.
We're so upset about leaders who, in other countries, who victimize their own people. Why are we not invading the Congo and everywhere else in this world? I'll tell you what,
this one happened to be a threat.
Get out of here!
No, this one happened to be a threat to us.
A threat to us. Get out of here!
What
Come on,
threat?
Go back and.
I happened to be here.
They were
I happened to be here on 9/11. I don't want to see it happen
How
again.
did you do?
Nobody wants to see it happen again.
How did you do in your video games this weekend?
I didn't play any video games.
All right, good. All right, now get out of here.
If Saddam was still here, Saddam was still here, the Phillies would still suck. Life would be the same.
Talk about this issue of being a traitor. What did I show in Fahrenheit 9/11? I showed the Bush administration helping the Saudis get out of the country before regular people could fly commercially. The Bin Laden family, 24 members of the Bin Laden family, got the red carpet treatment to get out of this country.
It's wrong. What do you mean it's wrong? They were all vetted out.
Get out of here.
Even your guy Richard Clark said there was nothing wrong with those people, right?
Who? Yeah, he had to approve it.
Yeah.
And he's not my guy.
But he was also in your movie.
No, but he's also the guy. He admitted himself that had he done his job, he apologized to the 9/11 widows. Had he done his job, we might have prevented 9/11.
The bottom line is those Bin Ladens were not guilty of anything.
I agree, but if
why
let me tell you something.
Get them out of the country?
If your brother committed a mass murder of 3,000 people, I can guarantee you the police would come to you, even though you had nothing to do with it, and say, if you don't mind, if you could just stick around a while, we'd rather you not leave the country because you might be able to help us. Instead, within 24 hours, the Bin Ladens were being helped out of the country.
And who ordered that?
The Bush
administration. How do you know that?
Bush himself.
Who else could have ordered that?
Bush himself. He's very good friends with the Saudi royal family.
Yeah, he's asshole buddies with them.
The Saudi royal family.
You're making a leap. You're saying he did, but you don't know.
I want to get out of this debate.
Ridiculous.
What is
I'm not ridiculous.
What is your screen name again?
You just refuse.
Duker Dog.
Duker Dog. All right, get out of here, please.
Scott, real quick.
What?
This is a liberal that you've been waiting to get your hands on, so to speak, for a long time. Well, you've been wanting to talk to him, to talk directly to him, and you were finally able to. Do you think you got your points across?
A few of them, but listen. I think the best way would be put he and I alone with a microphone for like 2 hours in a room, and I think I think we'd clear some things.
Some of his rebuttals to some of the things that you mentioned about Fahrenheit 9/11 and that he's not necessarily a patriot. Do you still feel the same way after he was able to talk to you?
No, I'm not saying that the guy's not a patriot. I just think that he's wrong. He's living in some weird reality that just is not reality. And that's it. And I think his filmmaking, Fahrenheit 9/11, was unfair, to say the least, to our troops, to the country. It was just sort of filmmaking, and people take it as gospel, and that's wrong.
Well, he's been accused of portraying conveying propaganda and not really giving the whole. You mentioned 2 shots that were in succession, one of children playing on the playground, another one with a bomb going off.
Right. Unfair. Tell that to the 300,000 Kurds who died. I don't think they were playing on playgrounds the day that they were gassed and killed.
So you think if he improved his filmmaking, maybe some of his points would be more valid?
Absolutely. I think if he went in unbiased and just told the story as it was, then it certainly he would tell some good, and maybe he could fix some things like the healthcare, which we know do need to be worked on. But the point is, when the guy is that biased, I can't take anything he says as true.
Is this the beginning of a long-running debate every time Michael Moore comes in? Do you think you'll get another shot to go at him?
No, I think Michael Moore's had enough of me. He won't let me in next time. And neither will Howard.
Wow.
I got a feeling if I opened up an American flag factory and did nothing but produce American flags, these people would still hate me.
I have one question though for Michael.
Go ahead.
Just one, and this is playing devil's advocate because I do support him, and I changed my views after Fahrenheit 9/11 in a lot of ways. The statement he made before. And this isn't my thinking, but a lot of people are going to throw this back in your face. When you said it took a shorter time to beat Italy, Germany, and Japan than it's taking our guys to secure one road now. How do you make that statement without people thinking you're insulting our troops?
Oh, it's not the troops' fault at all.
Right, so but a lot of people, that's all they're going to hear. They're going to say, that's not being supportive of the troops. How do you say that says they're incompetent?
Well, no, it doesn't. It says the leadership.
Well, I want to hear, who is to blame for that?
It's because we don't have a Dwight Eisenhower.
So it's purely generals.
Why is it up to Michael Moore? Why does he have to answer that?
Because a lot of people are going to want to hear that.
His movie is about the medical system in this country, how we don't have a national health care system.
I'm talking about a statement he made before, not the movie now. A lot of people are going to want to hear who's to blame for that.
The guy who's in charge,
maybe he doesn't know. Why does Michael Moore have to know everything?
Yeah, why does he have to know everything?
Because I think a lot more people would
Why
be...
are we yelling?
I think a lot more people would be on his side if they knew the real explanation of that. When you make a blanket statement like that, it makes it sound like you're calling the troops incompetent.
The administration has already said, you know what? We needed to send in more troops. Now we're sending in more troops.
I believe we're America and we can do anything. And and the fact that we have people in charge that can't even run a war that they start is embarrassing to begin with, at the very least.
We're ashamed.
And it is shameful. Because what does it say to the rest? I think we're less safe now because the message to the rest of the world is these guys are so incompetent. The people the man who's the commander-in-chief and the generals that he picks, they can't even secure the road in 5 years.
Right.
Geez, we could do anything to this country.
That's right.
They're run by
they're
buffoons.
So tied up with that.
That should be scary to all of us.
The threat of us used to be greater. Now,
right, so it's these generals that are the main culprit.
Don't fuck with these people.
Right.
Now it's like, oh, geez.
Let me take a couple of phone calls before we run out of time. Let's go to
Michael,
Ralph.
I also wanted to point out, they've built a few buildings over there in the 5 years of their rebuilding. They've only built maybe 100 buildings. They still don't have as much electricity now as they did before the war, or water.
All right.
And half of the buildings, or 60% of the buildings that they've built, are already in disrepair.
All right, let me go to Ralph. Let me take about 4 or 5 phone calls. Go ahead.
A few things quick. First of all, Michael, that guy, that screwball who was just in there, who was the director, meanwhile, he was in there for half an hour, and the show was still going on. That's how important he is. There's no directing going on back there.
All right, go ahead.
You know, Michael talks in his movie about the not just the healthcare, but we also, if you do have it, you can't get them to take your claim.
Right.
Well, there's a lot wrong with the healthcare system, and that is what the movie Sicko is about, which opens June 29th. Let's go to Billy. Billy, you're on the air.
How you doing? Listen, I agree with Mike in a lot of ways, but when you show a movie and it shows half a story, because if somebody comes out with a documentary that says something else about what Michael said, and it looks like he's lying, how could you explain that?
Clearly Michael's movies are his point of view. He's trying to show you something, and yes, they are biased in a sense, but are they not true? That's the question. John, you're on the air in New York.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey, listen, one thing you guys didn't realize is that the conservative Christian right, who have been controlling this country slowly over the last 8 years, pulled a fast one over the Howard Stern show this morning when they had their constituency base. And, Michael, you know this. These people organize. They send email blasts out to their base and say, call the Howard Stern show, here's the number, and tell them that you're going to dump Sirius. The reason why she couldn't pronounce Sirius is because she doesn't know what the fuck Sirius is.
That woman,
interesting.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I don't think that woman's a subscriber for a minute. When she said, I bought Cyrus, and you hear her voice, she ain't no Howard Stern. I could pick out a Howard Stern listener in 2 seconds. That ain't no Howard Stern listener.
That's exactly right, and that's exactly why the Bush administration has been in power for the last 8 years, because they organize and the Democrats can't fucking figure it out because we're always reacting.
I'm glad you called. I got nervous. I was going to throw Michael out of here. Let's go to Tom in Passaic, New Jersey.
Yes, good morning, Howard. Been listening to you since NBC. Okay. As usual, a propagandist and a guy who goes to all kinds of extremes. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I cut my fingers off in 1981. Okay, and I had to sign a waiver before I went into the OR, and it was done at Bellevue Hospital. Because they would not put my middle finger back on, because if you don't have your thumb is your most important digit. Your next most important digit is your index finger. Okay.
Okay.
And
so
that's
what is wrong?
That's why they would not put my middle finger back on.
But why shouldn't you get all your fingers put back on?
I don't understand what he just said. Why wouldn't they put it back on?
Because it was more important to attach my index finger. So
why couldn't they put them all back on, is what we're saying.
Well, what has this got to do? Tom, no offense. This is a crazy phone call.
You're arguing Michael's point, right?
Those other fingers can live on ice for days. There's no rush, even if they were short of doctors that day.
Okay, Tom, thank you. He's saying your information is wrong, that his index finger is worth more than your middle finger.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty sad that in the richest country on earth that we'd have to say, these 2 fingers have got to go. We can't do it. You know, if you lived in any of these other Western industrialized countries, all your fingers would be put back on. And I think, I live in America, I think people should have that same right.
When I was in Italy, they told me I would be, the healthcare system was available to me as a tourist.
Yeah, that's right. Well, anybody who's ever been sick, if you ever got sick while you're traveling, you go into a foreign hospital, like in a country like that, they'll take care of you. They don't have an apparatus to take money from you because there's no money exchanged.
And thinking that way doesn't mean we're commies. That's what a lot of people will say, too. I think everything's a compromise. There's good and bad and everything, and that's clearly something this country should have.
Let's go to Hansy in Toronto.
Hey, Michael, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
Yeah, I just want to say a couple of things. First, I love your films.
Thank you.
Okay. And I always had to understand that a lot of American citizens, right, were ignorant with their views. But I came to realize that it's more of the news and media that fabricate things. And I want to commend you for the work you've done, because it shows how their country is fucking up. They can put so much money in the army, but they.
All right, thank you, Handy. Kenny, go ahead. You're on in Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah, Howard, I can't believe you let Michael Bin Laden on your show.
Oh boy!
Oh, you don't
when is he coming on?
This guy is the most anti-American person in the country.
Boy, Kenny, I don't agree with you at all. I don't even see your point.
Guy,
ask him if he's seen
Robert said earlier, love it or leave it. He hates America. He needs to get the fuck out.
Have you seen his movies?
Yeah, I saw that in 9/11. That was the biggest bunch of bullshit I ever seen in my life.
Really? Even in retrospect now, you see how things have gone down in Iraq, and you don't see any value in that film?
Well, look, if we didn't protect that country, who's going to look after us if we get in trouble? We need to have friends.
Yeah, sir, did you notice when you saw Fahrenheit 9/11 3 years ago how in that movie I went to Walter Reed Hospital to point out how our soldiers were being treated? This was 3 years ago.
Right, I
It
understand that.
just
Yeah, you got a
started.
point
People
there.
just started paying attention to it a couple months ago.
Why is
but
that a bad thing
Why?
to you?
Why would that be a bad thing? Me saying, I think our soldiers should be treated better at Walter Reed, and I was saying this 3 years ago.
I agree with you on that part.
All right, there you go. So you agree on something. All right, Kenny, good for you.
You can always get a yes out of them, but they go right back to the no.
Right.
Well, because they've been instructed by Sean Hannity and Rush and these guys, to
hate you.
Yeah.
Good. No, that's great. Well, listen, I wish you luck with the new film, Sicko. I will go see it. I've enjoyed every one of your films, and I always appreciate your work. And I know you did Letterman recently. Was he good to you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's, I like Dave.
You do.
And he's a beneficiary of our healthcare system.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's
definitely. Yeah.
You have kids, right?
Yes, I have a daughter.
Does your daughter want to become a filmmaker?
No.
No interest in any of this?
No interest in that. No.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
What does she want to do?
Yeah. I think she wants to teach or be a librarian, or I'm not quite sure.
A quieter life than you have.
A much quieter life.
Right.
I don't blame her.
Michael Moore's Sicko opens June 29th in theaters everywhere, and I will go see it. And thank you for all the good work you do.
Hey, thank you, and thank you for the good work you do. And it's great to hear you here on Cyrus.
On Cyrus.
Yeah, we'll go see it if we can get another free screening like you did with 9/11, man. I mean,
they didn't give you guys the free screening.
Nah, but don't worry about it. We'll go see it.
No, we're going to go see it. We're paying
We'll
customers.
pay.
We don't mind. We don't mind
All right.
contributing to this.
All right.
We'll be back right after these words.
Mr. Moore.
I'm taking Artie's weight loss book because they claim that he'll never lose any of that weight.
Mr. Moore, you were able to mix it up with a real live Bush-loving conservative.
Yeah, the director of your show.
Yes.
I know. I feel sorry for him. It's. But he'll come around. They all do eventually, especially those that have a good heart, and I'm sure he does.
You were shocked that he wouldn't save his own son with $1 million, heart transplant type of operation.
Yeah, it was a similar thing happened when I was on O'Reilly's show, and I said, "Can I just ask you a question? If we could secure Fallujah tonight for good, but it would require the death of your son, would you be willing to sacrifice your son to secure Fallujah tonight?" And O'Reilly wouldn't. He's saying he did the same thing.
So once the issues are personalized, it's no longer, they kind of lose some of their win there.
Yeah, and I think it's always best to try and personalize it for them, because, I'm sure he loves his son, and I want him to know that I would want my tax dollars to go to save his son's life. Just as if his house was on fire, I want my tax dollars to go to that. Just as if he was a victim of a crime, I want my tax dollars to send the police to his house. And healthcare has got to be seen as a life and death issue in the same way that we look at fire and police and things like that.
You draw comparisons that people can relate to, and it suddenly becomes even more of an important issue.
Yeah, well, I think it's easy to. I mean, we're not talking about a whole bunch of other. We're just talking about some life and death stuff here, and that's what healthcare is. And look, every other Western country can do this. They do it. Why can't we do it? I don't like being shown up by these other countries. I mean, we're Americans. We should be able to pull this off, right?
Right. You mentioned we're the richest nation in the world.
Yeah, and we used to be known as the country that kicked some ass. That was able to, do these things. We can't even kick our way out of a box now. It's ridiculous and it's embarrassing, and I think most Americans are fed up with it, and they certainly think if they had it to do over again, wouldn't want. Heck of a job, Brownie, to be running the show anymore.
Well, you and Howard are definitely getting the word out, so thanks for stopping by.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad this is going great here on Sirius, and that everybody's enjoying it here. Certainly, there's a real sense of freedom in there. When I used to come on the old show, there was always this hovering, and clearly that's gone. So it's a free show in a free country.
The way it should be.
The way it should be.
Michael.
Hey,
Nice debating with
wanted to say goodbye.
Listen, we'll agree to disagree.
All right. Well, thanks, and I hope you still have the job here. Don't
and you keep making those bad films.
You haven't seen these movies.
I did. I saw Fahrenheit 9/11. I thought it was terribly unfair.
Yeah. Even now, after all these years, you think that we went to war for the right reasons, and
absolutely for the right reasons.
And it's still good to be there. And
absolutely. I think we still need to be there now. Yes.
And it is okay to let the Bin Ladens go the first day after 9/11.
Probably not a choice I would make. But I don't know all the facts. I'm sure you don't either.
But if you were a cop and if somebody's name was Bin Laden, you might want them to stay an extra day or two.
And that's probably why they checked him out. Ask Richard Clark.
Checked them out within 24 hours, and they just left.
Well, Richard Clark did check him out. He's the guy who you used him for your argument in other cases.
Imagine the day after Kennedy's assassination, the government, worried about the Oswald family, said, you know what, we're going to get you a plane, and any Oswalds that want to leave the country can leave right now. And we got all the Oswalds out of the country before there's any investigation.
I know on the surface it does not look good, but it
looks really bad.
But Richard Clark said that it was okay, and
so Richard Clark is a god to you, and
and to this day, none of them have ever been proven guilty, right? So aren't you one who believes
hard to do that when they're in Saudi Arabia?
Aren't you one that believes that innocent until proven guilty?
You know, our ally, Saudi Arabia, they wouldn't even let our FBI in to interview the family members of the 9/11 hijackers. Just simple police work like that. And they're supposedly our ally.
But there's not even one allegation against them.
No, but wouldn't you want, if you have a police investigation, you go and you visit the family, right?
Guys, we gotta go. All right,
Anyways,
we'll agree to disagree. Take care.
We're all Americans. We're all in the same boat.
I agree.
Hi.
What's up, Desiree?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. You excited to be here?
Yes.
Hey, come on, follow me.
Am I like too close to him?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Yes, so I am Miss July.
Today's the big day of the shoot.
Hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm excited to meet Howard.
Cool. I don't know. So are you a fan of the show? Are you familiar with what Howard's about and Howard TV and all that stuff?
I grew up with Howard.
So this is kind of a dream come true. Are you an actress?
Yes, I'm an actress and dancer. And Howard's just like an American pastime. So you have to be excited to meet Howard.
Right, so this is like two things in one, an acting gig and meeting Howard. So that's pretty
I'm
cool.
just hoping to have fun today. That's really pretty much what it's about.
All right, something tells me he'll like you, I think.
I hope so.
All right, well, have fun today, Desiree.
Thank you.
The new Miss Howard TV's here.
Oh.
I'd like to take a look at her. Every month we change them.
That
why don't we
girl's
do that?
already out.
Why do we do that?
Yeah, well, why don't we
Why
keep her
not?
forever?
Well, guys want to see different girls every. Let me just meet the new Miss Howard TV. She's here for the next month. I guess she's taping today.
Oh, okay. Let's see what you look like.
Yeah, I'd like to take a quick look.
They'll be here till 4.
You got a tough act to follow, honey, but let me put on my Versace glasses.
Gary, what are you making a face? Bad or good?
Good.
Good?
Good, all right. See if she has better taste than the other one.
Oh, hey, baby.
there.
Wow. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Howard.
Did you hear Artie has a new house?
That's the hottest chick we've ever had up here.
I heard.
That's Artie, and he has
Wow.
a new house.
What a bod.
Holy sh!
What is that, lingerie or bathing? That's lingerie.
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 It's panties and bra.
Yeah.
Hot looking chick you are.
I brought clothes, but they told me to wear this.
You don't need clothes.
Clothes. How old are you?
20s.
You don't give your age?
No, I'm an actress too, so I'm
Okay.
trying not to.
You ever been in anything?
Yeah, I just did an indie film
Yeah.
and some commercial.
What's some college kids film?
No, it was a real film.
A real film? You
Who's
got
in
paid?
the indie film?
What's that?
Anyone in the film we'd know in the indie film?
No, it was a lot of unknowns, but there was a lot of talented people.
You married?
No, I have a boyfriend.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
What's he do?
See you later.
He's a choreographer.
He's not gay?
No.
A lot of gays in there.
Surprising.
You kind of look like Pocahontas,
Yeah,
but with better tits.
In case you were wondering, and I know you have been wondering, yes, these are Versace.
Oh, okay. I thought they might be.
Well, you're beautiful.
Yeah,
What
she's
is your
hot.
ethnicity?
I am half Puerto Rican and Ecuadorian and half white.
I see.
Me
Would
too.
you mind telling my mother you're Sicilian?
She could pass for Sicilian.
Yeah, can we see the back of you there?
Yeah, turn around. Let's see the back. Wow.
Oh, my
Jeez, that's perfect. What, do you work out or something, or is that just
yeah.
natural?
Well, I'm a dancer, so I
Nice.
dance a lot. And
Dancing's the best thing for girls.
It really is. It really keeps you young.
Where do you dance at?
Well, I'm a professional dancer, not a dancer.
You never dance
She
at
takes
scores?
classes, Artie.
Yeah. Thank you, Robin.
You never dance at like scores or something like that?
No.
You would never be nude.
Not in a strip club, no.
In a Playboy?
Possibly. I'm still not certain if I would, but I've definitely thought.
How
of it.
about in my new media room? Will you be nude there?
So you like the you're like the boring kind of dancer, not the kind we like.
Right.
Yeah. Like real dancing.
You're like
Right.
Gene Kelly.
Like, do you dance like hip hop and stuff?
Yeah, I'm actually dancing for Daddy Yankee right now.
Daddy Yankee, the rap guy?
Yeah, the reggaeton.
No kidding.
Daddy Yankee is Derek Jeter, honey, and no
So
one
you
else.
go out on tour with him and then you dance?
I'm supposed to. I actually just booked it, so.
So you
gotta
get
be
paid. I mean, you're making
Yeah.
some money at this.
Yeah, I mean, dancers are a little bit underpaid, so I get paid, but I wouldn't go crazy.
You know what's weird? I've already forgotten about the first Miss
Me
Howard.
too. I like her a whole lot.
A minute ago, you were saying why.
Now you know why
Now
we
you
get
know
a new
why.
one.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, after all, this hot. I mean, who knew she was going to be hot?
Well, she's hotter like the other one.
I got a stomach ache now. See, John Hine, I want to ask you something, John. There's no way you'd ever jerk off to this girl.
I mean, she's beautiful, but no.
You would never. So that's just like, are you getting hard from her? Do you have any?
I'm hard. I got a hard on.
Are you excited from her?
I do.
Not right now, no.
But this.
I am.
Like I might jerk off to her like 2 o'clock this afternoon.
I would jerk off now if she said it was
Please
okay.
wait until the show is over.
How does John do that? I think John is like a superhero.
Might have to do with the diabetes.
He's just gay.
It's not a diabetes. Come on.
He's homosexual.
I mean, I don't know. I think he's lying to us.
No, what kind of shoes are you wearing with that? Oh, yeah.
They're just little stilettos that I couldn't even
Fuck me
strap.
shoes, yeah.
They told me to rush in here, so I couldn't.
Do you, if I put on hip hop, can you show me how you dance?
Sure.
You would?
A little bit.
All right. Fred, give me some hip hop. Oh.
Here's
let me
Daddy
see.
Yankee.
Wow. You are good.
I mean, how could she be bad?
That's good. Where do you learn that? Wow, she's good. Whoa.
She's the best dancer we've ever had up here.
What happens when you go to a club and you start moving around like that on the dance floor? Do guys go just berserk?
Rape.
Oh. Roofies.
I don't know. I don't really pay attention.
You know? Do you ever go dancing with other girls and like?
Oh, definitely.
Do you
You
ever
just never accept any drinks.
You ever do lesbian stuff with girls?
No.
Really?
Well,
Seriously?
I kissed a girl before.
That's it.
I'm boring. I am boring.
But do you ever go to clubs with girls and dance with them like that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh shit! Like with like almost no clothes on, like a belly shirt and.
Well, yeah, I have clothes on, but yeah, sexy clothes.
Have you ever been raped in your life? Do guys like sometimes like take you forcefully? Did that happen? Was there ever an attempted rape or anything like that?
Oh. No.
No, you
Not
haven't
that
had.
I can think of.
You haven't been molested by anyone, an uncle or?
No.
No.
No, I haven't.
You probably blocked it out.
You got any ecstasy on you right now?
No, I left it at home.
Oh, okay.
You left your ecstasy at home? Who does that?
I'm joking.
Oh.
Hey, so
well,
when,
you're a beautiful girl, and we look forward to seeing you on.
Thank you so much.
when your
Howard TV.
boyfriend comes out, let us know.
He's here.
Well, you're very beautiful.
Thank you, Howard. It was a pleasure. To meet you.
I'm honored that you're Miss Howard TV. What's your
I'm very
name?
honored to be here. Desiree.
Desiree. That's it. Just one name, Desiree.
Desiree Valverde.
Desiree Valverde.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're gonna remember that name.
Hey, Howard TV, look, I'm into how hot she is, but you should ask if they have boyfriends.
Yeah, we have to just get hot chicks with no boyfriend.
Well, yeah, how am I supposed to, throw money at them for sex?
Well, maybe
That's all right. He doesn't care.
What about $10,000 for sex? You think your boyfriend would look the other way for if I gave you $10,000?
No, it'd have to be like $1 million.
$1 million? Whoa!
Artie can do that.
That's a knock on me.
Get rid of
I
that.
think.
Get rid of that.
I'd have to get rid of the shore house.
Get rid of the house. I think it's worth it.
It might be.
Wow. Well, Desiree, you're the best.
Thank you, Howard.
You made us forget the last one.
Yeah, I didn't think that was possible.
I'm really honored to meet you guys. This is great.
Same here.
It's an honor to meet you. 20,000.
We don't meet people every day with abs like that.
Yeah, that's
Impressive.
Yeah, well, I didn't eat anything yesterday, so.
Smart girl.
If you had eaten something
When I
yesterday,
leave
you would
here,
look
though,
like me.
I'm sure I'll eat a lot. What's that?
Well, I mean, eating yesterday doesn't really mean anything, does it? I mean,
Psychologically, it does.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten in a week. Robin hasn't eaten in 3 weeks.
She hasn't.
I
That's
still
right.
don't look like that.
Yeah, well, you're getting
You
there.
look great, Robin.
Hey, $30,000?
He's in the other room. I can discuss it with him.
How about $30,000?
That's
If he's
a bona fide
he's
offer.
choreographer. He's a businessman.
$30,000. Come back to us with an answer, please.
I'll
All
give you
right.
$30,000 for. I mean, it's got to be intercourse. It's got to be, and I'll pay for the hotel.
Where's your
Somehow I don't
boyfriend?
think he'll go for it, but I'll ask.
Let's ask him.
Wanna
You
ask
never
him?
know
Okay.
until you ask.
I'll pay for the hotel,
He's in the
but we
next
got to
room.
split the incidentals. I'm going to be hard.
What's his name?
Kelly.
Kelly?
Kelly, the choreographer.
Yes.
Whatever.
Oh, there he is. It is Kelly. Hey, Kelly, you're a black guy.
You know what? Forget about it. We're all right.
Forget it, Artie. You better not mess with this guy.
No, that's all right. I take back the
What's
offer.
up?
How you doing, Howard?
Pretty good. Nice to meet you, Kelly.
Nice to meet you also.
If your beautiful girlfriend Desiree was offered $30,000 to have sex with Artie once, would you stand in the way?
Good deal.
30,000 is not a lot of money. You're looking at her, right?
Right. Hey, look. I know, man. I'm saying.
How long you been tagging her?
3 years.
3 years.
How long you been hitting it?
How long you been hitting that? If I may speak street
happening?
vernacular.
I've never. But I'm lying. I guess no. 3 years. 3 years. Yeah.
Wow, you got a major score there.
Yeah,
my
we
friend.
lived together.
No kidding. You moved her right in.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You know,
Nice.
you would do the same thing, Howard.
Are you exclusively into black men, or have you ever dated white guys?
Oh yeah, I mean I don't have a certain type.
You don't.
Just whoever I like, I like.
You're open to all races. Well, that's good.
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's not anything I think about ahead of
You
time.
like black guys better than white guys.
Yes.
He does. You do, right?
You're like a basketball coach.
What?
I just like who I like. I mean, I love him, so whether he's black or whatever. It's,
Now, what about your family? Have they given you a hard time dating a black guy?
no, my mom loves him.
That's good.
Yeah, big shout out to Mama D.
Her only problem is that he has too many sneakers. That's really it.
Yeah,
That's hardly a
do.
problem.
I'm big
a
on the
successful brother with sneakers? Come on.
Yeah, it's-
When you say half
It's a little
white,
strange.
when you say half white, your old man's Italian with that name?
What's that?
Is your old man Italian with that last name?
No, actually, my mom is white, but she's English and German.
Oh,
Well, let me tell you something. Hold on to that one.
good combination.
Let's see how you can do better than that. Believe me.
He's a
I'd
good
marry her.
catch, too.
I'd marry her ass.
Yeah.
What do you
Oh,
What do you choreograph? Like big time stuff? What do you do?
Yeah, I do like R&B and hip hop stuff. Yeah.
What guys are girls?
There's a like R&B groups, Amir. You know what? I even work with Carly Simon, believe it or not. And she's not hip hop, but just movement coach. That sort of thing.
Doesn't everyone assume you're gay because you're a choreographer?
No, I don't really carry that kind of swagger, man. Not at all.
Yeah, he doesn't seem gay.
You've never blown a guy. You've never done anything like that.
No, I just
How'd you
kind of
get
keep.
into the business?
Yeah, I mean, you must have blown somebody somewhere.
I just bring her with me and I'm in.
Well, you're a nice couple, I'll tell you that, and your
Thank you.
girlfriend's
Thank you.
smoking hot. Good for you.
Appreciate it.
I didn't realize there was a Mr. Howard TV.
Yeah, man.
It's a little
All
disappointing.
right, you two.
All right.
Always ruins it when the boyfriend comes in, but you are beautiful.
Thank you, guys.
All right, nice meeting you guys.
You too.
That is Miss Howard TV for the next month, and she will be hosting Howard TV.
Have they taken the note that they should make sure they don't have boyfriends?
Well,
Artie has a real good point there.
I mean, don't I? I mean, the boyfriend and the boyfriend's allowed to come with her.
That's stupid.